missed you.
So long.
I know. Look at you.
Look at you. It's because I.
What are you thinking?
I didn't need the shampoo and blow dry over the color. So I'll shampoo you first.
Shampoo. Why? Why do you do that?
It's a little oily.
It's better to do color on clean hair.
Absolutely. Just to take the oil out.
Mm.
So that the color can process easily.
Yeah. But what is the color called? Is it cinnamon chocolate? Is it a red chocolate? It depends. I don't even know anymore. You want it to look like your shoe? Like this?
Yeah, a little brown one.
Hold on, let me show them.
I think it's going to be a good time. I hope they're clean. I pray that they're clean.
What do you mean? I just want to see that brown.
But yeah. Well, I'm going to watch this process because I don't want it to get not even 2 shades lighter. I'm just going to watch it, see if it needs some toning, and if it does, I'll do that. But it's really just watch and do what you got to do. But my plan is to just let it get maybe 2 shades lighter and not quickly. That's why I'm using a 10 volume. Because I could have went with 40 and went crazy, but no. Slow and steady wins the race. And this is also going to just give you some dimension too.
Yeah. I like dimension.
Same Z.
Who this? Oh, new girlfriend I got here. All right.
Good morning, cookies. It is Saturday morning. I woke up like 2.5 hours ago. I was in the bed scrolling on Instagram. I haven't scrolled like that in such a long time. And it's not that I feel good about it, but I feel good about allowing myself to like sleep in and rest. So I did that, got up, made myself a latte with my little Nespresso. I haven't been sleeping well. Can I tell you guys something? Oh my God. I have to tell y'all, Wednesday night, Carlos was like cleaning up in the kitchen, getting ready for bed. I'm sitting on the couch watching TV. I look over and I see something move on the pantry door. And I'm like, what is that? Because a couple of weeks ago, I saw a daddy long legs, a spider. And I have arachnophobia. I hate spiders. And I saw the thing move and he said, oh, that's a roach. And I said, no, it isn't. Here's the thing. I would rather a spider over a roach and a mouse, okay? Separate together. I hate mice and roaches. I do understand, like, a lot of people in New York are like, it's New York, what do you expect? And I'm just like, a clean house, what you mean? And it's not to say that our house is messy or nasty. I do notice that since we've been living in these, like, newer buildings and stuff, when the seasons change, we'll see one or two, right? Or when people move in, you'll get one, you know, and you just got to make sure you nip it in the bud. So I was like, listen, he killed it. And I said, please, I asked him like 5 times before he went to bed, did you put in a request for exterminator to come in? Did you put in a request to put in exterminator? I was not having it. And y'all, I stayed up until like 3 o'clock in the morning, literally on the couch looking at the kitchen to see if anything else was. Y'all, I hate roaches so bad. Oh my God. So I've lived in New York for, it'll be 20 years in a year. So this is my 19th year. All right, right. So I've lived in dormitories in the city, didn't have issues, right? First apartment was in Brooklyn, a closet in Lafayette off the G line. Had an L-shaped studio apartment. I shared a bathroom with another floor mate, and it was an old brownstone. That was my first real interactions with like Pest. Like there would be roaches that would crawl in from the hallway. I did have mice in my kitchen. It was mortifying. You hear me? Like I didn't grow up with pests. Like I'll tell you, I'm from Baltimore, but I grew up in the county. I'm not from the city. My father and his family is from the city. My aunt on my mother's side and them, they lived closer to the city, right? They lived in the city. But like I grew up in apartment buildings and in houses in Baltimore that were really considered the county, except for one that was kind of close to the city. But anywho, the most we probably experienced with pests was like ants crawling in during the summertime through the window and getting into like the fruits and stuff. But like I think one time we lived in this house and we lived in Owens Mills, and there was this one house that we lived in that literally, oh no, it was Randallstown actually. Those of y'all that know, y'all know what I'm talking about. We had a field mouse come in from the field, and it passed away in our house, and we found it when like a couple days passed or whatever, because it was smelling or whatever. But we never dealt with stuff like that. So I understand there's certain things. When you live in a big old city, there's billions of people here. We're all in close proximity. Sometimes if you're sitting on a train, you'll see a roach and they'll crawl on somebody and go home with them. Like I feel like I brought a roach home once like that in my first apartment ever. I think it was attached to my bag from being on the train. But anyway, I am super careful about these things. And I'm like, you know what? It's the change of season. That happens also. I remember when I lived in this apartment off of Cumberland and close to Dumbo in Brooklyn, a big roach crawled in from the window. And when I tell you, I chased that roach from the beginning of the apartment all the way to the back of my bedroom into a closet. Like it was crawling for its life, and I was so scared, but trying to kill it at the same time, but scared and trying jumping back. It was freaking mayhem. I turned my apartment upside down just to kill this damn roach. Okay, so I've seen roaches at least since my first Brooklyn apartment. I'll see roaches in the apartment once or twice a year when the seasons change or when people move in or they just crawl in from the window. But we don't have a house where we are attracting them, right? It's kind of hard for them to find the foods. But lately, Carlos has been cooking so much that I told him, I was like, you have to clean the grease. Especially like when when it cooks up and it goes like we have a microwave over top of the stove. I'm like, you got to clean the microwave because when grease piles up, that attracts them. Listen, it took me one big roach my very first time living in New York to learn about everything there is about the species of roaches, the stages of their life, how they survive, how they don't survive, what they don't like, what they do like. I know. Okay, so I get to work. I said, Carlos, put in the request for the exterminator. Let's go. I asked him 5 times before he went to bed. Did you put in the exterminator? Okay, thank you very much. Did you put in the exterminator? Do you know when they come? Okay, you don't know. All right, but did you put in the exterminator? Yes. So 2 days go by. I couldn't sleep the last 3 days, honestly, because I was literally looking for them for his cousins. Like, it was you by yourself? Did you come here by yourself or no? So anyway. They came yesterday. Like we didn't know that the exterminator was going to come yesterday. And the apartment basically, like, I have a lot of things, and that's the other thing. You can't have too many boxes. I am a content creator. I get boxes from brands all the time. So it's like I was trying to make sure I get all of my boxes out of here. Ship back anything I need to ship back. Like I'm in a clean mode, but yesterday when they came, I was on virtual meetings back to back. I didn't have time to pick up everything, so I scheduled for them to come back next week again. They sprayed yesterday, but I said, y'all gotta come back again next week. I want to deep clean, lift up everything from the floors. I want you to be able to get every single crevice under every single baseboard, every corner of this apartment, every cabinet. I don't care. Y'all coming back next Friday. So that's the thing. But I did buy some sprays, some natural indoor sprays. It smells like peppermint. I did get a door sweeper so we can keep the things outside. I also got some roach motels. I got some boric acid. Let me tell you something. they not gonna be feeling welcomed here at all, okay? Now from these hallways, I know I got a neighbor down the hall that sometimes I be looking at him like, I know you don't clean your freaking house. So I gotta make sure that I just make the door, this entry pathway, I gotta set it up real good. So yeah, all it takes is one roach, y'all, for me to go into this mode. Nope, I ain't gonna do it. Anyway, so today I'm going to be picking the things up or whatever, but I'm also going to be working on my scripts and building out the Content Creator Grow With Me program that I'm coming out with next month. For people who are interested in growing their platform and just learning more about social media, the different platforms individually and together. And then there also will be like a bi-weekly class that I'm going to be doing on Zoom. So anyway, we're working on that all weekend. We might be going to Carlos's cousin's 50th birthday. But yeah. Have I said too much? I don't know. Either way, I don't mind going to this party and it being like a thing because I know who I am. I know whose child I am. All right. Amen. Okay. Just checking if they in the kitchen again. You know what I'm saying? All right. Anyway, I kept y'all long enough. The battery low. Well, not that low, but it's low. So yeah, y'all know I love a good chat with y'all. It's like FaceTime. Anyway, I want to get the spray and everything. I feel like I can hear a roach crawl. Because I feel like the first time I seen a roach, and we call them kakalaka in Aruba. First time I had a kakalaka in my apartment, I swear to you, I heard its little feet. They look like a mouse, but that's what it sounds like. I know you can't necessarily hear their feet when they walk in, but I'm telling you, I have the power to hear their feet. Can you hear this? Yeah, ooh, that smells nice and pepperminty. I know how much y'all love that smell. All right. Yeah, I'm getting it, especially in this room, because y'all not going to touch my things. Nasty critters. Y'all nasty feet. Oh, hell no. Anyway, I got to go. I'll talk to y'all later. I got to go work and prepare the space and things, throw some things away, but also we working on some program stuff, so I'm excited. Ooh. And yesterday I had my offboarding call with the agency that I was under as a content creator. One part of it was bittersweet. You know, there's a few people at the agency that I really enjoy, love, respect, and in others there's, you know, that's how the cookie crumble. But I definitely left the meeting feeling like I'm so excited and I just can't hide it. I'm about to lose control and I think I like it. Is this gonna spray? But yeah, I am feeling weightless on my shoulders and chest now. Yeah. Anyway, I gotta go. I said this several times. I'm just gonna spray back here, you know? Because I don't have no business back there anyway. All right. I'll talk to y'all later. Ooh, what's up, cookies? I am out of the house. It's Father's Day. I already talked to my dad, and we both agreed. We kind of like forgot it was Father's Day because, you know, he was here for those few days, and we were doing things.
Turn left. For and then continue straight.
You're loud, Elizabeth. Then we were doing things for Father's Day. So like when the day came, I'm like, oh snap, like I didn't send him anything, like any of that stuff. But then he was like, girl, like you gave me a whole bunch of stuff when I came up there for the photo shoot. Like that was my Father's Day. And so we chuckled about it, whatever, and I left him alone to his devices, watching a movie or whatever he was doing at home. But girl, I completely forgot. I'm like, oh my God, it's Father's Day weekend. So I'm grateful for my dad. Y'all know, like, me and him, we might get into our rifts and stuff, but like, that is my ace boon coon. Like, that is my bestie, my first love, my everything. So yeah, I'm just very happy that I could have that kind of conversation alone with him. You know, like, dude, like, we forgot it was Father's Day. Like, what's going, like, that's a privilege, you know, and I don't take it for granted. I really cherish my father and my mother, you know, so
exit right.
I am a lucky person
right.
to have had an experience with both of my parents in the way that I do, and the ways that I still do.
0.1 of a mile.
I'm a very lucky
exit
kid.
right, and then keep right.
Elizabeth, yes, girl. Anyway, but I am in the mood to do something
exit
that
right.
feels
And then
fabulous.
Keep right.
I'm gonna turn her off, and I'm not gonna be able to because I don't have a stop yet. So deal with it as I am dealing with it. But anyway, I want to do something that makes me feel fabulous, and that's literally going for a latte and some pastries on a Sunday by myself. Carlos already went like grocery shopping for meal prepping and for the week. So when he came home, he was like, don't you want to go run an errand? I was like, yeah, if you don't mind, can I have the car? Because it's drizzling. It's raining a little bit. So being in the car is very helpful because, you know, my pants are a little long and they dragging. I don't want to be dragging my pants in the street when it's wet like this. Absolutely not. So yeah, this is fabulous, honey. We got the car. We going down on FDR highway. I hate this highway, but we gonna be all right. We prayed up, stayed up. God is with us. We gonna be protected driving down this highway, cause it's traffic anyway. Hello, okay. Anyway, y'all know I'm silly as hell. But what do I have on? Can I show you? Yes, I can. Oh, young man, why are you in the street like this with your cane like that? It is actually a young man with a cane, limping, doing his best. I have on an old Zara like summer knit and my Skims leopard print Dolce & Gabbana collaboration cargo pants on. And I have, y'all, when I get home, I have to show y'all what happened to my feet. Oh my goodness. The other day when I was leaving from the hair salon, I was wearing a pair of shoes that I've had for quite some time, and they're comfortable and they're not a problem, but I think it was hot that day. Maybe, you know, my feet got a little swollen for whatever reason. You know, like when the heat comes, sometimes your body just reacts a certain way. And I felt like the shoes were rubbing a little bit on me. So I was like, oh, I don't know if I really can stand this. I had a couple more errands to run and walking in the city to do. So I went to Anthropologie really quickly, and I got some like flip-flops that had a little heel on it. Y'all know how I feel about flat flip-flops, unless it's like built a certain way and walking around in New York City, your feet get dirty. And plus my pants were long again that day, so I needed a little bit of a lift. So I tried these shoes on, and they immediately gave me relief when I was trying them on in the store. Walked around in them a little bit, and I was like, yeah, these are good to go. Let's do it. And I actually got 2 pairs, not the same exact pair, but 2 pairs of sandals. So I ran my errands, and as I was walking to the train, I finished my stuff. Oh, why is it? I'm so sorry that it got blurry there. My bad. And as I wrapped up my last errand and I went to the coffee shop, walking to the train, and I'm on the phone with my dad, I'm like, these slippers are rubbing my foot a certain way. Like, these are really hurting me. And they felt like sandpaper. It was so extremely painful. Like, by the time I got home, I had blisters that were created and popped, bleeding on these damn shoes. And if I had put on the other shoes, it would have been even worse than my original shoes. It was, I don't know, the texture, something happened, okay? But my feet are so scarred up, open wound still. Could not wear shoes the last 2 days. Like I wore socks and sneakers the other day and I was fine. But like I had bandages and stuff on my feet underneath the socks. And yeah. So I have on shoes today that don't hit that spot. I went into my summer shoe archive, unpacking those things, and I found some slippers that are like, or slides that are just perfect for what's going on my feet right now. But girl, I never had this much of an issue with like my feet being scarred up like this right when summer starts. Like I always get like a little blister here and there, and it's like a little mark on the top of my foot, and I get that, but like not like this. This is real. It looked like it looks like burns on my feet. That's how bad it is. So anyway, just a simple pair of slides from Anthropologie, cheap ass shoes. That's why I get for getting a cheap ass shoe. See, and sometimes people be judging me for getting expensive things, but listen, at the end of the day, quality is quality. And I know some of these brands are kind of slipping with their quality, but at the end of the day, see what happened when I get a cheap ass shoe? Damn! My body ain't built for it. My body literally rejects cheap ass things. It's not my fault. My body is rich and wealthy. Cheap ass shoes. Damn. And honestly, that wasn't even that cheap, to be honest with you. Like, that was $100. A quick little slipper for $100. You know what I wish we had still? Like, Payless. Because I would have ran into a Payless and got a real quick flip-flop. Like, where I was in the neighborhood that I was in, that I got off the train, it was not like, it was Fifth Avenue. Like, girl, they ain't gonna have it. But, like, anyway. Alright, I'll talk to y'all later. I'm going to get my little coffee. My little latte. And then we're going to get a little pastry. We don't have an umbrella. We just got our hair done. Of course, it's fine. It's fine. I have to redo, curl it anyway, because I'm going to be filming this week. Heavy. So, there's that. Alright now. I'll see y'all in a little bit.
Double espresso to drink here in a real coffee. Yeah.
Thank you.
Espresso.
Oh my gosh, cookies. So it is Monday, and I was looking at my vlog that I'm going to be posting for tomorrow. It's so short, which isn't like me, but honestly, I have to reflect and tell y'all, last week was one of the slowest, smoothest weeks that I have had, and I'm so grateful for it. Like, everything was at a certain pace. I didn't feel rushed. I didn't feel overwhelmed by a bunch of people, and it aligned properly because I was on my cycle, so I didn't really need to be surrounded by chaos or anything like that. So I'm just happy to have come through the week and feel like I don't really have much to show because I really was just relaxing. Even yesterday, like after I picked up my latte, I went to Soho, picked up some pastries for the house, and you know, I just relaxed for the rest of the day. I think I was watching Gilded Age because the new season is coming out, so I want to just refresh my memory about it. I really love that show. I watched and just like that, the newest episode. I did watch Straw. I watched the movie Straw on Netflix, and yo, I really thought it was good. I know Tyler Perry movies have like a certain like flair to them and a lot of people don't enjoy, but I've always loved Tyler Perry movies. I don't care. But this one in particular was really great because of the way that it just highlighted Black women, the struggle, the things that we go through as a community, sisterhood, mental health. It touched on a lot of different things, and it was super powerful. The end was super powerful. I'm a little annoyed that people are like going on the internet, kind of doing like spoiler alerts for the end. I don't like stuff like that. But the reactions of the plot twists and ends are pretty valid reactions. Totally same. So if you haven't seen it, definitely see it. It's on Netflix. But yeah, y'all, I just been chilling. Also on Friday, I had my close-up call basically with my agency. So officially my contract is over on the 17th of this month. But we had like a wrap-up call on Friday just to discuss like the wins that were experienced during the relationship. The stats of how I grew, which was funny because the TikTok stats that they had for me were not mine. I was like, those aren't my numbers. I don't have that many followers. That's someone else's numbers. I don't know where you got that from. So, and I'm appreciative that, they didn't say anything along the lines of like, we brought you this, that, and the third, when really, this experience with this particular agency, which I think a lot of people have at any agency that they're at. A lot of people, as a lot of creators, go into a relationship with an agency or management, and they're either sold a dream, or they're assuming that an agency is going to bring them all this business, when really a lot of times, management is to manage relationships and negotiations and contracts and campaigns, right? So a lot of the business that we did while I've been under the agency were repeat customers, repeat brands that I had before signing the agency, and inbound brands or inbound inquiries from brands that saw the work that I was already putting out on social media. So it wasn't like, the agency pitched all these opportunities. There may have been, like, let's say there were 10 deals, right? 10 brands that we worked with. Maybe out of 10, maybe 2 were pitched, but I actually do not know for certain because it could have all been inbound. So I don't know, and I'm glad that it wasn't spoken about in a way that they brought all this business, whereas like a lot of creators have experienced that where they're like, no, I brought this in, like y'all didn't bring this in. Like it wasn't like that. It was just like, these are the wins that we experienced. This is great. What was your favorite campaign? Blah, blah, blah. And then how much you grew. And I do think that I could have grown more, honestly, like as when it comes to my following numbers. I feel like I could have grown more if I was actually happy in the agency relationship, because I feel like I wasn't happy, or I didn't feel comfortable. I didn't want to be managed anymore halfway through or less than halfway through. And because we couldn't, I couldn't really go my own separate way, I retreated a lot in my content creation. And I think that I held back my own growth, being in a state of mind where I was just like, I'm not really feeling being under an agency right now, and I don't know what to do. So, I think that it was a lot of lessons learned, and I was supposed to learn these lessons, even though it was uncomfortable a lot of times. I am an educator at heart. I don't know how it happened, but I am, and I love to share lessons learned and experiences with people so they don't make the same mistakes. Because when I was in certain situations, since I've been a content creator, I'm like, damn, like, why ain't nobody talking about this? Like, I wouldn't know that this was a thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, now I am the sound or the info pool for people who feel like me in those moments, if that makes sense, right? So yeah, from here, I'm going to be sharing a lot of lessons. And it's not to like, I'm not here to bash the agency. I'm going to be really honest with you. There are a lot of agencies out there where some of their clients have a great experience and then other clients just don't. And it's for different reasons. It's for different reasons based on the content creators' input and the work that they do and their mindset and positivity or lack of positivity. And it can also be the agency and their lack of systems or their lack of transparency of communication. Like, I do think that it is a two-way street. I do think that agency experience can be a two-way street, but then there's moments where, like, if you have too many creators under your agency, someone's going to slip through the cracks. Someone's not going to feel like they're being connected with or worked with enough. Some people are going to feel envious of other creators under the roster and feel like they're getting all the attention or whatever. But the reality is sometimes some content creators under the same agencies, some are going to get more deals and inbound inquiries than others. It happens. There's a certain it factor that every brand feels a creator that they align with has versus the ones that they don't. So there's so many factors as to why some people have really great experiences with agencies and others don't. And I am able to talk through a neutral lens about that because, like I said, I had a great closing call with members of the team that I worked with at the agency. And I did also make it clear that there's one or two people at the agency I would rather never see again. But that is literally, it could be anywhere. It could be any agency, any creator experience, right? So yeah, I mean, look, I'm never shy about expressing exactly how I feel about somebody or something. Because at the end of the day, I'm not going to be disrespectful. I'm just going to stick to the facts and receipts, and I'm going to be as respectful as I can. You know, and I've said to people, I was just like, you are really, if anything, if I hadn't enjoyed someone, I would tell them that they're making it really hard to enjoy the experience, or that, you know, I'm not understanding their reasoning for their behavior, or I could just, I've said out front to people, I'm very uncomfortable working with you because of how you handle things, how you talk to me, how you treat me, how you do things. It doesn't feel right. And so therefore it's like they're put on alert that I see something, and maybe they can change their approach with me, or maybe not. And if they don't, then they could just keep their distance. And that's fine too. If you want to do any kind of business with me, just email it. I don't want to talk to you. We don't have to have most meetings can be emails. But anyway, I'm like ranting now, or like going off the deep end here. But I do think that this is a great opportunity for me to develop ways to share information that people can get insight from and learn from the mistakes and hard things that I experience. And then I also feel like this is a great opportunity for me to start building my team, because I do think that, I don't think that I would say I will never work with an agency again for representation. I'm not saying that. I do think at some point I will definitely pick that up, but I'd rather focus on my particular growth before I have those types of conversations again. And I know exactly what I'll be looking for the next time around. But I do think that there's a power in managing self and creating a small team that can be leveraged in areas that I'm weaker in. Like, for instance, I am the type of person, I would love to talk about the creative, build a relationship with the brand, and stay there. I don't want to talk about money. I don't want to talk about why somebody's late on paying the invoice to me. I don't want to talk about legal jargon. Those are not things that I'm an expert at or feel comfortable in. I want to stay in the space of, I love working with this brand. Let's really dig deep about creative opportunities and storytelling, and let's kiki on a Sunday and get dinner or something. Like, I want to stay within that beautiful space always, because the creativity flows better when it's just that type of relationship. Let someone else talk to you about how much I'm worth, and you going back and forth with them as a brand talking about this is your budget, or this is how much you think somebody's worth. And I don't want to see that, because it can deter or make me feel sour if it doesn't feel right or it doesn't look right? Let somebody else talk to them about the usage and the ability to use my likeness several times over for months on end, and making sure that that's paid for and that I can use it in my own portfolio. Like, I know what needs to be said. I know what needs to be protected, right? But I want to have those conversations. It just seems a little bit more like not fun, right? And then of course there's going to be situations where brands don't necessarily mean to, but they might be late on paying. I don't want to turn to nobody pitbull talking about, hey, I really enjoy working with y'all and making this content pretty and stuff for y'all, but where my money at, help? I don't want to be like that. No, let someone else do it. So that is being developed right now. The small team that I'm going to be having, that is being developed right now. But y'all, right now my focus is growing me and authentically sharing things, and not feeling so pressured to put on in a way that feels like I know this will benefit me and my team, and I'm not going to feel resentful that it benefits them, because we're all putting in that work, because we all have good intentions, because we're all being transparent and honest with each other, and we're building relationships, not tearing them down or making them feel uncomfortable or awkward or not paying attention to details and looking like we don't know what we're doing. Like that's, I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, anyway, let me cap the vlog here. This week I do have a few more things going on than last week. But yeah, this vlog, I just wanted to show y'all my hair. Doing my hair. Letting y'all see that I'm still trying to figure out what curtain color I'm going with. I think I'm just going to go with a green. I'm going to go with another green curtain color. These are going to go back. And then I'll order the desk that I have my eyes on. And a piece of artwork. I'm not making it. I want to buy a piece of artwork. And yeah, and I want to be done with curating this space so I can just move the camera around to different points and just film without needing to feel like, oh, I need to move this thing out my way, blah, 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 blah. Right? So we'll continue that conversation in the next vlog. Yes. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I'll see y'all in the next one. Thank you so much, Cookie. I love y'all. And thank you guys for just staying on this journey with me, because it is nothing without y'all. Truly. So don't forget to hit that like button and tell your friends about it. I'll see y'all later. Bye.